I'm going to talk about the structure of the course. Now, when we learn anything new, it's so much easier if we can break the process or technique down into simple steps. And this is the same whether you're learning to juggle, ride a bicycle, or in this case, learning to become an effective mind mapper. The process of learning mind mapping on this course I've divided into 8 steps, and I'll quickly take you through these as an overview. Step 1 is us getting into the right frame of mind for the course, being mentally prepared for new learning and putting time aside in your diary in order to do the course justice. Step 2 is observing a mind mapper at work. Observing the master at work has always been how an apprentice starts out in any of the crafting professions, and mind mapping is a craft as much as it is a tool or a process. So observation is a tried and tested start-up method. So in this step you'll be standing over my shoulder watching me, seeing me create my mind maps, whilst at the same time through my running commentary you'll be hearing the thought processes going on in my head as I create the maps. Now do please pay attention to this commentary and don't rush through these lectures, as I am sharing with you the thought processes that are required in order to construct effective mind maps, and this is different from the linear piece-by-piece way we were taught to think at school. In the third step you'll be reading through a series of mind maps. What we are doing here is simply learning to read before we learn to write. Indeed, I don't ask you to start creating, drawing or writing your own mind maps until we get on to step 6. So for now you're able to relax if all of this is new to you. Step 4 is a further opportunity to get the feel of the technique and to practice eye-hand-brain coordination when it comes to creating mind maps. Now this is a copying step, and as most of us are not good at copying, you may find initially that what you are creating looks somewhat different from what you are copying. So do pay attention to this step and don't skimp it. Basically, what you're doing here is grasping the technique through the use of your writing hand. In step 5, we spend some time ensuring that we've integrated the main key principles that underpin the construction of effective mind maps. So again, don't leave out step 5. And whenever we review information, we are telling our brain, this is important and I need to remember it. And it is this process of regular review which helps us to transfer new learning into our long-term memory. Then when we get to step 6, you'll actually be creating your first mind maps with a helping hand from me. And finally, in step 7, you're creating your very own mind maps from scratch. And please don't be tempted to start drawing your mind maps until you get to this stage. Otherwise, in my experience, you'll find you'll have picked up some bad habits which can then be really difficult to rectify. Step 8 is where you look to put mind mapping into everyday practical use in your work and your life, and you'll be reflecting upon what you've learned and planning out how best to make use of mind maps for you personally going forward. Practice makes permanent, and good practice makes for effective mind mapping.